We had a visit from one of the Rosh Yeshivas from the East Coast a few years ago, and he came here, and I think he put it very succinctly. He says this yeshiva is one of the best kept secrets in America.
There's a legacy and there's a heritage that's ingrained in the bones of the Rosh Yeshiva. And they're able to instill it into their Talmidim the same way.
It was my home away from home. I have very fond memories of the Rebbeim, Rosh Yeshivas, and all my Chaverim from Yeshiva days.
Telshe is very much geared toward the Bachurim.
For me, it's a place where I can build my foundation for the rest of my life.
We oversee the Bachurim and keep an eye on them, like a mashgiach should watch for the back.
The yeshiva was founded in Lithuania by Rabbi Chaim Schmelzcer, and that Messiah hasn't been changed in iota through different countries, through different lands, and through different decades and through different centuries.
Telshe Yeshiva in our community is one of the primary areas where one can go to connect to the authentic Torah of the past.
Telshe Yeshiva makes a point of looking after each bacher and making sure that his personal growth is taken care of.
Telshe Yeshiva has brought me, personally, up to a true Ben Torah.
Rabbi Manis is an amazing Rebbe. He's the 10th grade Rebbe here, and he's very into it. He gets Bachram into it. It's very stark, and sure is amazing.
Torah is your ikr, so you have a good svar, so you're excited to give it up. You're excited to scream and teach everybody else about the svar. So it's excitement.
The awesomeness and the geschmackkeit about the learning and the Torah and how it just uplifts you and you get into that base medrash and when you open up the Gemara.
We try to accept Bochum in their desire to advance in learning Torah.
As the world advances, it seeps into the yeshiva. Our job in the yeshiva is to try to keep the world out as much as possible, so while the boys are in the yeshiva, they're able to steig and be matzliach, and then go out and do what they have to do in the world.
I was given a foundation by Telshe Yeshiva, which I do my best to take with me wherever I go.
I was a Talmud here for many years.
I started here in 10th grade.
I was a student here, now I teach here.
But this is where I grew up. This is the yeshiva that's made me completely into what I am today.
My children went here. It's a wonderful yeshiva.
I've been here all my life. This is mamish my home.
What an impact Telshe Yeshiva has had on the city of Chicago.
The community today, which has grown so much in Yiddishkeit, is due mainly to Telshe Yeshiva.
Arbatzas HaTorah, Limud HaTorah. That's what Telshe does best. And the Balabatim, as well as the Yeshiva light, younger light, that come out of Telshe Yeshiva, have a certain dedication and ahava for Arbatzas HaTorah and for learning that, quite frankly, is unique to Telshe Yeshiva and to the city of Chicago.
There are a number of Rabbonim who are former students of this yeshiva.
There's a big future in the city of Chicago for a place like Telshe Yeshiva.
They're there for you. I mean, it's just not a building, it's not mortar and bricks, it's people.
It's a resource for the city, and it's a resource for anybody who wants it. You want to come here, learn a little bit, you want to get a good seder in something, it's something you can lean on, and they'll open their arms to you, and I think you'll keep coming back.
As the story goes, straight from the airport, he did not go home. He would always go to the yeshiva first. Bags and all. He had to be in the base medrash, no matter whether he was coming from Europe, or he was coming from East Coast, West Coast. The primary and first stop was always the yeshiva, in front of a sefer, learning, connecting with the Torah, for which he devoted his life.
It is difficult to realize that 10 years have gone by since the passing of Harav Chaim Schmelzcer tz'l livrocha.
He was a person who was a natural. He seemed to be a natural. His Rabbeim had said it decades ago about him when he was a young bacher, that he is destined to be a gadol one day.
Rabbi Schmelzcer was unique in my eyes, and I think in all my Chaverim eyes, and his gadlus, and Musar, and Midas.
I would imagine anybody that had the schus to be here on Yom Noraim will never forget his tefillas.
As one of the primary movers in the yeshiva, Rabbi Schmelzer's mark in the yeshiva is unforgettable.
Rabbi Schmelzcer was one of the indispensable pillars of the yeshiva.
Rabbi Schmelzcer was really multifaceted. It's rare to have an individual that had all the different qualities that he had.
In the early days, people didn't understand what Telshe was, didn't understand what the yeshiva is, didn't understand what it meant as Makom Torah. And by his going out and pulling people in, made a big difference.
Rabbi Schmelzcer was a walking Kiddush Hashem. He loved every Jew.
Consistency. He was a consistent person in his behavior towards other people. He had such a sensitivity for feelings of other people.
I was very close to Rabbi Schmelzcer, who I dedicated the Beis Medrash in memory of, a very special Jew. I can think of many occasions where him and I just talked about life.
He had the ability to sincerely empathize, to sincerely feel what other people felt.
If you look at the name Schmelzcer, Shoma Litzar, Shema, listen, Litzar, to the pain of somebody else.
He wasn't interested in your benefit for his benefit. He was interested in your learning and your growth as an entire person.
Besides being the big Talmid Chacham that he was, and the Oved Hashem that he was a pikeach, a very clever man.
He helped all sorts of people, not only in the yeshiva, but even in the community and on a national and international basis.
And he himself was a very big masmid. He would be up early in the morning learning, and he would come back from a trip and right into the Beis Medrash and learn. And he was a role model for Bochum, and Bochum loved him very much.
He always felt their needs. He was able to look at a bacher and pick up what was necessary for the moment, from the youngest to the oldest, and especially those that had special needs, that needed special attention.
And Rabbi Schmelzcer was always there to talk to, follow the bacher. When I became Beis Medrash, and even after I was married, he had a problem, someone to talk to. He felt your pain, and he would help you through a problem.
When he was nifter, it was a big loss to the yeshiva. And both as Talmidim, but also as Hanhola members, the special guidance, that special blend of a personality that was able to be sensitive to others and have the pickus to understand people was something that can never be replaced.
It's just hard to believe it's 10 years that he's gone.
Considered just extended family, to the point when she was nifter, I took Korea. I lost a member of my family.
If anybody wants to get a feeling of Rabbi Schmelzcer, you talk to any of his children. You talk to Moshe, you talk to Shmuel.
I think about him a lot. I try to think, what would he have done in this situation? What can I do to make things better? What would he have done to make things better? Of course, I can't always have the answer, but I had been around him for a long time. I learned a lot of his ways. Can't do it as good as him, but I tried to emulate him.
There's so many questions I need to ask him, and I try to figure out what he would have said. It's not good enough.
My friends, the success of Telshe Yeshiva, Chicago, in the past 19 years has been that it did not only teach its Talmidim to learn diligently and to acquire much Torah knowledge, but more than that, it imbued each and every Talmid with a ruach of Torah and Yerushalayim, by which he's to guide his every movement in and out of the yeshiva. We wish to express our appreciation to all those who have contributed, and we extend thanks in advance to those who will still contribute towards that end.